Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm trying out a foundation I've been wanting to try for the longest time, but it is so super expensive that I've only just been able to bite the bullet and get it now, because I did get it reduced on Selfridges website. I think it usually retails for about £105 and I got it for 84, so I think it was about 20 to 25% off. And this foundation is something that's been all over YouTube for the last few years, and they have recently released extra shades, which is fantastic. So I decided that I was going to go ahead, bite the bullet, because it was on sale. So this is the the Soft Fluid Longwear Foundation SPF 20. Now I've seen so many people rave about this. I first saw it on Tati's YouTube channel years ago and she was saying that it was her favourite foundation. I've seen it on Erin Nicole. Other people love this foundation. There's so many skincare benefits in there as well. And then I noticed that my friend the other day, she bought the moisturiser. She said it is the best moisturiser that she's tried. And now I have very high hopes for the foundation because I'm hoping that it's going to be as good as the moisturiser. So we will see how it goes. Now this foundation is very expensive. It's £105, but they have now got 28 shades, and when it first came out a few years ago they only had 8 shades, so now there's 28. They have loads of different undertones. They have light and then also deep skin tones as well. Because it's such an expensive foundation, I feel like they should have loads and loads of shades. They have the money to do it. I feel like they need to bring out loads of shades, and now they're finally doing it. I do feel like they could probably add some more deeper shades, but they are doing a lot better than they were before, because I remember I went into Selfridges about 2 years ago when I tried to colour match myself. I went to the lady, I said, can you colour match me? And every single one of the shades was neutral. And because I self tan, as you can see, I self tan my body, but I don't self tan my face. I have a warm undertone, so it's very hard to try and find a foundation that matches me when there's only neutral undertones. And I can use my foundation mixer, which I use for a lot of my foundations that aren't warm enough, but if you're spending £105 on a foundation, you want it to be exactly the same as your skin colour. On the website it says that it's £105 and you get 30ml or 1 fluid ounce. It's available in 28 shades. It's buildable coverage with renewing hydration and SPF. This longwear foundation has weightless touch and natural buildable coverage for luxurious long wear. Blending renewing hydration and luminous colour, this product refines the look of skin, smoothing visible imperfections while enhancing skin's natural beauty. The foundation has SPF, stays true even in humidity, and available in 28 shades. And it does have all the key ingredients, so the miracle broth, the colour capsule technology, soft velvet for men as well, formulated without parabens, phthalates and sulfates. I did do a colour match on the website and it does say that my shade was 250 sand, which is what I have here. So hopefully it's going to match me, because this was very, very expensive and I can't take it back if it doesn't match. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and zoom in and try out the foundation and see how it goes. I've zoomed the camera in so you can see exactly what my skin looks like without any foundation. So you can see that I do have a lot of acne scars, I do have a lot of redness, so I have already primed my skin, and I've used my 2 favourite primers at the moment just because I know how these go with all my foundations, so I can sort of see what this foundation is like with my regular skincare and primers that I usually use. So I've used the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. This I use around my eyes, and then the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer, which I use all over my face. These two are incredible. I love the combination of these two. So I'm now ready to test out the foundation. So this is what it looks like in the box. It is absolutely beautiful. You can see that it is very expensive, and like I said, I got the shade 250 Sand. This one is light medium with a warm undertone, so this is what I always go for with foundations. If it says it's light medium, warm undertone, usually that's my shade. And then when we take it out the packaging, it's just a glass bottle. Oh, it looks so luxurious. To be honest, for the price, you would hope that it was this expensive. And then on the bottom it says 250 Sand. You have the top there. It feels very, very heavy, so I feel like they've definitely put a lot of thought into this bottle, so very, very heavy. Then when you open it up, it has a pump on there. So anyway, I'm going to try this out on my skin. What I'm going to do is do one half my face and compare it to the other side. It does say it's buildable coverage. I like light medium coverages, or light coverages, or sheer. To be honest, I'm not really too fussed what coverage I have a foundation. It's just depending on how I feel that day. And with my skin type, I think it's combination skin now. It's more normal, but I do get a little bit oily on my forehead and I get a little bit of dry skin every now and again. The dryness isn't really there that often, but I would probably say I'm more combination now. I am really hoping this shade matches me, because it looks like it might do in the bottle, but it looks a little bit too neutral for me, which is really weird because it said that it was a warm undertone. So anyway, I'm going to squirt out, or pump out rather, 1 pump on my hand. So that is pretty much 1.5 right there. Oh, it does look quite neutral. compared to what it said online. So I'm going to go in and use a beauty sponge. This is what I use all the time on my foundations, just so we can see what the coverage is like. There is a fragrance. I can't really work out what that fragrance is, but there is a fragrance in the foundation. To be honest, it's smelling a little bit like coffee. Really weird. I don't know what it's meant to be. This is one layer of the foundation and I feel like it looks so beautiful. It looks like a light coverage at the moment. You can still see that I have redness on my cheek and also on my chin and then on the side of my nose, but it's really evened out my skin tone. And I feel like the colour match is perfect for my neck in this lighting. Oh, it looks so nice up close. Really nice from far away. I really like how this looks at the moment. And I still have quite a lot of foundation on here, so I think half a face will probably do about 3/4 of a pump maybe, or half a pump. So maybe 1 or 1.5 pumps will be for the entire face if you do one layer. But yeah, I actually love the way that this looks on my skin. I feel like it looks so beautiful. That is so nice. I didn't want to like the foundation because it's so expensive, but I am feeling like I really do like it. So with one layer, I absolutely love it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if it builds up, because it does say that it's buildable. So I'm just going to put a little bit more foundation on the sections where I still have some redness on. So I've just taken a little bit more of my sponge and I'm just going to put some more on my cheek. And then also down the side of my nose as well, because I do have quite a lot of redness on my nose today. I usually don't, but today it's just deciding it wants to come out. Okay, so the foundation is definitely buildable. It looks stunning on the skin. It literally looks like my own skin, but better. It's very natural on the skin, but also it covers up a lot of redness and blemishes. You can still see that I do have a little bit more redness on my cheek, and then also on the bottom of my nose. As you can see on this side of my face, my skin looks luminous and beautiful. It's not super luminous. I like my skin naturally anyway. I feel like my skin looks so much better than it did last year. So I love my skin anyway naturally, but this just enhances it a lot more. Like I said, I would happily have one layer on my face because I feel like it is very, very beautiful on the skin. And I don't mind my redness showing through. I don't mind my acne scars showing through. So I just like my skin to look like skin, and it really does. It looks stunning. So I'm going to go ahead, do the other side of my face, and then come back and show you what it looks like. And this is what the foundation looks like all over my face, and I feel like it is so beautiful. This is literally the perfect canvas for me. It just looks so stunning, luminous. It hasn't accentuated my pores. My pores haven't disappeared, but it hasn't made them look any bigger. My redness looks natural as well. I still have redness there, but it looks a lot better than it did. I love this foundation. Other than the smell that I'm smelling, which is like coffee, I don't like that. I don't know if I've got a bad foundation or anything, but I can just smell coffee. And I don't know if you guys have had exactly the same as I have, but this is what mine is smelling like. I've washed my sponge. It is clean, even though it looks disgusting. It is clean. I literally washed it before I came to do the video. So that's the only thing I do have to say. If you're very weird about scents, you probably won't like the smell of this, but now that it's on my skin, I can't actually smell it. So that's not too bad for me. So this is what it's looking like. I feel like it looks so beautiful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, finish off the rest of my makeup, then come back and show you what it looks like. I've finished off my makeup and this is what it looks like, and I feel like my skin looks absolutely beautiful in these lights, in natural lighting. The rest of my products just glided on so easily, and it looks like my skin but better. And that's an annoying thing because it's so expensive. If I like this foundation and I use it up, then I'll have to spend the money on another bottle. So that's the annoying thing. But yeah, at the moment it looks absolutely beautiful. Now the smell is quite strong of coffee, and I did have to look up on Google and see if that was a scent. I have noticed that a few people have said that they have smelled a very strong coffee scent, but they do say that I think caffeine is an ingredient in this, or maybe it was an ingredient in it when it originally came out, when they tried it out. But I think that might be the reason why there's a strong coffee scent. I have gone on live chat with Selfridges just to ask them if it is supposed to smell like this, and they said they'd get back to me in 24 hours. So we'll see if it's meant to smell like this, if I've got an expired product, or if it is literally just this foundation. But honestly, I can't smell the coffee smell anymore now that I've put it on my skin. But yeah, I can't get over the way that my skin looks. It is a perfect match for my neck. In natural lighting, it looks perfect. In these lights, it looks perfect as well. and it has oxidized a little bit since I first put it on, but I love it. I feel like it is so beautiful, and I'm so impressed already with this foundation. But obviously we are going to be seeing how it goes throughout the entire day, because if it looks beautiful when it goes on, but then after 4 hours it comes off, then it's not worth the money. So it is 2:45 in the afternoon at the moment. I have had this foundation on since 1:30, but I did film another video, which is why it's taken me so long to do this check-in. So I'll be wearing this throughout the entire day, and I'll try and get some check-ins during the day, but because I am in the UK and we're in winter and the sun goes down by about 4 o'clock, we'll see if any check-ins manage to happen. But I will try and do it, but I will leave this on for the entire day, at least 8 hours, so you can see what it looks like. But so far I'm liking it, but check back and see if it works during the day or if I end up not liking it. It's now just past 8:30 in the evening, so I've had this foundation on now for 7 hours, and now it's time for me to give you a little check-in. Now I haven't managed to do a check-in earlier on because the sun went down very, very quickly. There was no natural lighting, and in all honesty I've been out most of the day. So we went out, and then we went out for dinner afterwards, and now I've just got back. So I thought I would do a little check-in for you after all of these hours. I did want to do one after about 4 hours, but I just didn't get a chance to do it. So looking at my skin, I can see that it's still looking pretty nice. Now it has come off a little bit on my forehead and on my nose and on my chin as well. A little tiny bit on the side of my face, but to be honest it still looks pretty good. I mean, I'm happy with it after 7 hours. It has been absolutely freezing, so part of the reason why it has come off on my head is because I've been putting my hood up most of the day because it is so cold. I feel like it's going to snow here, so that's why it has been coming off a little bit on my forehead. But to be honest, from far away it still looks absolutely beautiful, and then from up close it doesn't look cakey or patchy. It just literally looks like a little bit off the tip of my nose has come off, and a bit on the side of my nose, a bit on my chin, and that's about it. But yeah, like I said, from far away it looks absolutely beautiful still. So I do like the way that it's looking at the moment. I do look a little bit shiny, which is very strange because I haven't looked this shiny in such a long time. But my forehead looks a bit shiny. My nose, obviously the tip of it looks shiny because the foundation has come off on there. And then yeah, other than that, it looks pretty good, and the rest of my products are still on my skin. So I am quite happy with the way that it's done. I would have thought, because it is a long wearing foundation, that it would have lasted longer than 7 hours so far. However, 7 hours is a pretty long day. It's almost an entire work day. So I feel like it's done pretty good for 7 hours. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my final check-in at the end of the day before I take this foundation off, and I'll show you what it looks like, and you can see if it's worth the money or if it's not, and I can give you a final review and let you know what I think of how it's gone throughout the day. I'm back to do my final check-in and my review, and it's now almost 11:30 in the evening. I'm so tired. I want to take off this makeup because I am knackered, and it's Sunday evening. I have work earlier in the morning tomorrow, so I need to get to sleep. But I wanted to do the check-in now just so you can see what it looks like on my skin after 10 hours of wear, because this is a foundation that's been on for a very long time. Most people just do 8-hour wears on their channel. I try and do as many as I can, and to be honest, I can't keep this on for any more because I'm going to fall asleep. I'm so tired right now. And yeah, I'm just going to have a look and see what my skin looks like after 10 hours of wearing it. So it looks pretty good. It doesn't look obviously as good as it did when I first applied it because it is 10 hours of wear, and you can see that it has come off on certain areas because my face looks a lot lighter than it did in my last check-in, and that's a sign to me of that the foundation is wearing away. So the chin looks exactly the same as it did in the 7-hour check-in. The nose as well, I don't feel like any more of the foundations come off on the nose or my chin, so that's something. But there is more that has come off on my forehead. I don't really have much foundation after my forehead, and then on this side of my face you can see that I have a lot that's come off, but it's my own fault because I actually went like this, rested on my hand, and then realised I'm doing a foundation review. So yes, that was something that was my own fault. This wouldn't have come off here if it wasn't for my hand resting on it like that. So after 10 hours, I feel like it does look pretty good still. So from far away, it looks good. You can just see that there are a couple of areas that are a little bit shiny, like on my chin and then also on my nose. So if I was just to wear this out, I would just top up a little bit more on my nose and also my forehead and my chin. But it doesn't look too bad, to be honest, for this amount of time that I've been wearing it. It looks pretty good, and my bronzer and my blush are still on the skin. I didn't wear any highlighter today because the blush has a type of highlighter in it, so it's like a hybrid, so I don't need to worry about my highlighter, but it is all still on. it's looking pretty good. And like I said, if I was going out, I would just put a little bit more foundation on the different areas, because this is a very good buildable foundation. I felt like that it built up very well on my cheeks when I did it in the first place. But yeah, I feel like it's done pretty good for 10 hours of wear. Now, it's not my favourite foundation because I do like several different foundations, ones that I use all the time. L'Oreal True Match, £10, super affordable, and it's amazing. And then I have Chanel foundations that I really like as well. So it is a very beautiful foundation. I liked it as soon as I applied it. With one layer, it looked like your skin, but better. And you can still see a little bit of redness, but it just evened out the skin tone, and that is how I'm going to be wearing it from now on. I just feel like that the one layer is beautiful. It built up very easily as well on the cheeks and also on the chin when I added a little bit more foundation as well. But yeah, it looked beautiful when I applied it. It did oxidize a little bit during the day, so when I first applied it, it was a little bit too light for my neck, and then when I did my first check-in after about an hour, when I finished my makeup, then it matched perfectly. So it does oxidize a little bit, so just bear that in mind when you're getting this foundation. I feel like this colour match was pretty much perfect. I did do the colour match on the website, and this is one that it told me to do, so if you're not too sure on which shade you're going to be, go on the La Mer website and it will help you out, because it works out pretty perfectly for me. And I really like the bottle. The bottle is very luxurious. I like the packaging. I like that it has a pump as well. I like everything pretty much about this foundation. The only things I don't like is the price. It's £100 for a foundation, and I think that is crazy to spend £100 on a foundation. Yes, it does have loads of skincare benefits in there, but I also have other foundations that have skincare benefits that are obviously different to this one because it has the Miracle Broth. But I have other foundations that have different skincare benefits in there that are a little bit more affordable as well. But like I said, it is a very nice foundation. I would recommend it, but what I would say is for you to go to their stand. So if you go to Selfridges, get a little bit of a trial and see what you think, wear it during the day, because £100 is a lot of money to spend on a foundation, and I'd hate for someone to go out and spend £100, get either the wrong shade or it to not work on their skin. Like I mentioned, I have combination skin, so I am more oily at the moment than dry, but I'm not super oily like I used to be, and it worked out really well for me. It has stayed on for a very long time. I feel like 8 hours is probably the perfect amount of time for this foundation. I feel like any longer than that, that's when it starts to sort of break apart a little bit more on the forehead. But yeah, for 10 hours, it looks pretty good. I like that it has skincare benefits in there. I don't like the price, and I also don't like the smell as well. So it smells very strongly like coffee when I applied it. And after I did my first check-in, when I was saying that it smelled like coffee, I did look on the ingredients list, and caffeine is there. It's like in the middle of the ingredients. So I feel like that might be why it smells like coffee, but it's not one of the main ingredients, so I don't understand why it would smell so strong. Like I mentioned earlier, I have messaged Selfridges and they said they would get back to me by tomorrow to let me know if I have an expired foundation or if it is actually meant to smell like coffee, because I haven't really seen anyone say the scent of it is like coffee. And this was brand new. I did unwrap it out of the cellophane earlier on just before I was filming this video, so yeah, that's sort of one of those where I'm not really too sure. So if you are very sensitive to scents, you're probably not really going to like it. My sponge smelt like coffee for probably the next half an hour after I applied it, but it didn't linger on the face. So just bear that in mind. If you are very sensitive to smells, you're probably not going to like the smell of this because it is pretty strong. But when I put it on the face, I didn't notice any of it. And usually I do tend to break out or get irritated skin from caffeine, but this has been fine. I haven't had any irritation. My skin doesn't look red. It doesn't look like I'm getting an irritation at all. It doesn't feel weird. So that's the plus point. It seems like it has worked very, very well on my sensitive skin. Overall, I do feel like this is a very beautiful foundation. I'm not too sure if it's worth the money, but go ahead and get a trial size and use it for a day if you can. If you can find one of the counters in your local Selfridges or anything like that. But like I said, I do really like it. Just not sure if it's worth the money at the moment because it is so expensive. So anyway, if you tried out this foundation, and if you like it or if you don't, just comment down below to let me know. And I hope that you enjoyed this video, and make sure to give it a very big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video, guys. Bye.